Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be here in front of all of you all today. I know I'm not live. I am recording this session because I have some competing priorities coming up. So I had to miss this session live. But good luck to all the speakers and participants. By the way, I am Ravi Krishna Pasupuleti, and I am a part of the finance strategy and operations team at ServiceNow and responsible for driving business transformation and large-scale initiatives at ServiceNow. While I'm not a privacy expert, I could say that I'm a privacy enthusiast. In my previous life at Yahoo, I worked extremely closely in a similar role, strategy and operations, with the product team, working with the platforms and privacy teams. So that's where I got engaged. And that's when I thought, I think I should talk a bit about, as a layman, as somebody who is not within the core of privacy, to kind of call out what could be the problem statement here and what could be the missing layer in data innovation. So that's how I named my presentation, which is the missing layer in data innovation, practical privacy at scale. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's get started. Okay, the math says it all. We are collecting data at an unprecedented scale now, from connected cars to wearables, financial behavior, medical devices. The explosion of data is is fueling a lot of breakthrough in AI, automation, and personalization. If you look at it in 2024 alone, over 160 countries have enacted or proposed privacy regulations. And this will go up as more and more countries get on board and understand and ability to have that infrastructure to manage these. I'm sure these regulations are going to go up and up. But with that opportunity comes a lot of pressure. The regulatory bodies are moving fast and public trust is lagging. Only 1/3 of consumers feel that their data is being handled responsibly. We are now in a world when privacy isn't just luxury, it's a business critical necessity. The pressure to innovate with data has never been higher, but the same data, often personal, behavioral, or biometric, is increasingly regulated and scrutinized. That's why we're seeing a collision between what's possible and what's permissible. Now, when we come to what's permissible, breaches are more costlier than ever, not just financially, but also reputational and regulatory, right? Think about the high profile data breaches at Equifax or Facebook or hospitals. You know, Amazon had to shell out almost $1 million, with respect to their GDPR and CCPA penalties. So breaches are no longer isolated incidents. They are systemic risks. And regulators are not staying quiet and they are responding with teeth. The cost of inaction is also high. If we can't use our data, we lose a competitive edge. There's also another risk we don't talk about as much, the opportunity cost of underutilized data. Many organizations working with the sensitive data sets together because of compliance concerns. I personally know a few friends. I know, being in the Silicon Valley, of course, everybody has friends or personally involved in a lot of startups. I have a few friends personally who chickened out of their startups because of all the data privacy issues that they had and that they could not handle or have the right infrastructure in place to manage or maintain this data. So, and for all these other companies that have a large data sets, they are just leaving so much of value on the table. Okay, this is a big one. Why is it so hard today? Right? Privacy isn't just a technical problem. It's a design, operations, legal, and governance problem. For pets to work in the real world, they have to do more than just protect data. They have to be usable, scalable, and aligned with policies. Right now, most organizations fall short across these five key areas that you're seeing on the screen. Feasibility. Pets are hard to implement within the existing infrastructure. The degree to which it can be implemented within existing infrastructures, tools, and workflows without prohibitive complexity or the cost that is involved. Pets like secure multi-party computation or homomorphic encryption require entirely new compute models. Of course, I'm not going to go way in detail here. We have so many experts, other experts, and I'm not an expert here. They're going to talk about the solution and how to handle this, but I can just touch upon from what I know and what I've gathered. Scalability, the ability of pet to handle large volumes of data, users, real-time processing requires significant performance degradation. Can we really scale up to that? Can our systems handle that? A federated learning setup might work on 10 nodes, but will struggle with about 10,000 mobile devices. Usability. Tools are often inaccessible to non-experts, right? So how easily can pets be adopted and integrated by practitioners such as data scientists, developers, or analysts? Data scientists might struggle using differential privacy libraries. One could be due to lack of documentation or probably an unfamiliar API design. Compliance, I think we just spoke about it in the last slide, right? The extent to which pets align with data protection laws or regulatory standards will play a key role. It could comply with data minimization, but might fail to allow individuals to exercise their right to be forgotten, right? Everybody is, data is the new currency now. Governance. Now, I think this is a big one, I'd say, because cross-functional coordination is needed, to define or enforce or to monitor. But who owns the decisions? In a complex RSEI matrix, it's extremely important to really understand who the decision maker is. Is it legal? Is it security? Is it data? Is it product? Because it comes at an intersection of all of these four crossroads. These five barriers aren't just technical, right? They span, again, like I just said, they span the legal, org, and operational domains. So overcoming them requires more than good encryption. It requires cross-functional strategy, collaboration, and the time and investment. Let's move forward. Oops. Okay. So even with the right intentions, are most organizations ready? Most organizations are not structured to succeed. Pets often sit in research groups or innovation labs, disconnected from engineering or product workflows. Privacy gets bolted on, not baked in. Teams speak different languages. There's a tooling gap. There is lack of integration in data pipelines, and it becomes more reactive compliance than you address after the systems are built. Not before, not being proactive about it. And this is where I see a lot of opportunity ahead, and I'm sure my fellow speakers are going to dive into these topics, and they're going to explain in detail and the solutioning aspect of it. But the big opportunity ahead that I see is one, treat privacy as a strategic asset, not just a risk. I'm sure like most of the countries have privacy is a human right at the most of the place at most of the countries, probably could expand to being globally. And I think we touched upon this topic quite a few times in the last couple of slides. It's more about build that cross-functional teams. It's not responsibility of one team to drive this because it's at the crossroads of multiple teams. All the teams should start investing and actually working together on this and make it an integral part of the initiative itself. And the third one is the pilot pets in high value use cases, healthcare, fintech. I think I mean, of course, we have HIPAA laws and all, which restrict, especially in terms of healthcare, financial data for that matter. But then if we have these high value use cases that have the maximum visibility and wherever we have the maximum privacy concerns, implementing this implementing this pets at other places becomes just a norm, a cakewalk. Fourth, align pets with AI/ML life scale, not just storage or compliance. It should become a part of the end-to-end life cycle, not purely in terms of how secure your data is stored in, but in terms of how well the data is being read, especially with so much of influx of AI and ML, wherein data is being used by machines to learn. It's important that not just the storage aspect of it, but it depends upon how these machines read and learn from the data plays a key role. And most importantly, be an advocate. Be an advocate of the governance model. Be an advocate of privacy. Ensure that it's heard so that all teams, again, embed it in the part of their entire life cycle. Again, pets aren't a silver bullet. They represent a fundamental shift in how we think about data. They show us that privacy and innovation can coexist. To get there, organizations need to move on from compliance-driven thinking to privacy by design, from technical silos to cross-functional trust. The opportunity is here, just that we need to build that bridge. But that's all I have from a problem statement standpoint. Again, if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out. Ravi Krishna Pasupuleti you can search for my name on LinkedIn, or reach out to Frankie, who's out there, who's always at your support. But thank you so much for the opportunity, and good luck to each and every individual out there. Thanks.